Hello, my name is Jomua. Welcome back to my channel, and I create a lot. I can do hair and makeup, I can come up with accessories, I can sew clothes, I can take pictures. Basically, I'm doing everything that you need to do to come up with a beautiful portrait. First of all, thank you so much for being here again, for tuning in for my another photography adventure, for all of your likes, comments, shares, and let's start. For this one, I really want to capture the historical mood with a touch-up of the spring, what will come eventually. Actually, right now in Berlin, we don't have any spring. It's snowing. Yesterday, it was literally snowing, so it's even great. But for my shoot, I want to escape all of this and just enjoy the reality I create. Unfortunately, I don't own any clothes that resemble the historical influence. So I decided to do this clothes, and I had this rose pattern, and I want to come up with a corset, but the underbreast corset, so it's looking like this. It was the first time when I was doing something like this. It was kind of tricky. For the blouse, I thrifted this fabric. It was really cheap. Unfortunately, I have only 1.5 meters, but it was enough to create this big glowy and flowy blouse.
As I mentioned countless times before, I'm not a professional tailor, so to come up with a corset, I basically look through a lot of the same corset all over again and again and again, and then I decided, yeah, I will do this. That couldn't be that hard. And actually, it was complete lie. It was kind of tricky and kind of hard, but I was determined. I don't want to give up, so I made the corset. It came out really good, but the fabric was kind of tricky to work. I completely gave up to getting the roses all together, so that's the result I was hoping to. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, I don't have a lot of red fabric, so I ended up compromising my design, but the blouse came very beautiful, and the most complicated part was the straps.
Because it's a spring season that will eventually come, I want to have flowers as earrings, but I don't want to use the real ones. So I create this glassed or carameled flowers. I just dip the artificial flower into the design, and then I just assemble this beautiful and amazing earring.
First of all, I bought the rose and I completely tear it apart, try to get as many petals from it that's possible. Unfortunately, it was a very cheap rose and they have glue all over the petals, so I ended up cutting the petals even smaller than I originally was, but I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Then I dip them into resin and they need to completely dry up, and to achieve that I get all my petals to this an amazingly strange head, but it made the work. Then actually I realized that the petal itself is not that interesting, so I need to come up with a design for the earrings. So I ended up having this crosses, and then actually I imitate the real flower, and this was my earrings that I'm actually really proud of because they looking so cute.
My model Michelle had the most beautiful nails. Unfortunately, they were white and green, and it didn't fit my red mood in any way or form. So I decided to use artificial nails on her. Unfortunately, I didn't attach it properly, and it will cost me in the future, but for the look it was fine. And Michelle has the most beautiful hair. It's very long and very red. So we come up with curls, we have very subtle red eyeliner and nice beautiful red lips.
Usually I start with the hair because the hair is the most time-consuming part, and second of all, because we will have the curls need some time to actually cool down. So I do the curls, I make them into this like small circles on the head of my model, then I let them cool. While they're cooling up, usually I do my makeup, and so for this one we just darken the eyes, get this like nice red eyeliner and create with like an amazingly beautiful red lips, and then actually we finally get the curls done. I get out all of the pins and we have this like nice hairdo like they have in the historian pictures, and it was looking gorgeous.
For the background, I use a green fabric. Unfortunately, the color of the fabric is a dirty green, and I really want to have this like very intense, bright, greenish spring look. So I used two additional color lights to give the background more the green effect, and I used just one normal beauty light to my model Michelle, and also I have two white flags, so the image would be more volume matte than usual.
As you can see, I'm not the smartest cookie in a jar, and my model Michelle actually is sitting, so you can see her jeans and every frame and every picture I took. So if I could use a time machine and go back, I would definitely ask her to stand so I can actually cut out her jeans out of the frame, but unfortunately it is what it is. But the blouse looking amazingly beautiful. Michelle actually is working this look, so it was a blast to work with her.
On the retouch, my biggest problem was the nails, because when I attached them, I was kinda careless and I didn't do this properly. And my model was modeling from head to toe and she used a lot of hands, and unfortunately it's kind of visible, so it took me a lot to fix the nails, but for the rest it was a blast.
Now that you learn what was my kryptonite on the shoot, you can see that I spent so much less time on skin or colors or fit of the blouse and more actually on fixing the mistake that could be easily fixed on a shoot. So the best advice I can give actually is pay more attention of the details and spend less time on a retouch.
The end picture come out really beautiful. I like the historian vibes, I like the spring feeling they give it, and Michelle looks so subtle. So this is the end of my YouTube video. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you for all of your comments, like, share, subscribe. If you can, please sign with me on Patreon. Your support and donation will mean a lot, and I hope I will see you next Tuesday.